many times it happens that we want to take some action and our parents or our cousins or our siblings or our spouse, they don't support us, and some relatives, they say that it is not going to work, and they discourage us, and they say that, if you're going in this direction, you're surely going to face a lot of challenges and difficulties, and they try to oppose us, right? Especially when we want to become a professional artist, a lot of our friends, family members, they don't know anything about that profession, and they say that, you will not get success. The number one step, if you are coming across friends or relatives or spouse or maybe parents who are discouraging you for becoming a professional artist or pursuing the art career, and or any kind of thing which you want to do, you strongly want to do, and you desire to do, and you really want to achieve that goal, and they are opposing you, the first thing that there is a lot of tension that happens, right? You feel it is not worth fighting for it. It is going to make the family atmosphere bad, and you feel that why should I go against them, they are my well wishers, and if I do that they will feel bad about it. And that is the first reaction which comes into your mind, which makes you feel that I want to do this, but it is not worth doing this because I am going to hurt my parents or my spouse's opinion and whatever, right? So the first thing which comes in your mind. So you need to understand that there is no right or wrong for a particular thing, right? There is always more than one sides of any situation, always. And this will always be the case. Whenever you want to do something, you will always find people opposing you. There will be hardly any situation where everyone will support you. In fact, if you read any kind of entrepreneurship related books, I have read many, so I know that the first chapter itself says that you will always find naysayers. You will always come across people who will say no, who will discourage you, who will not support you, who will oppose your decisions, right? So there will always be the case. So it is not a thing related to artist. It is not a thing related to becoming a doctor. It is not a thing trying to become a lawyer or anything. It is always the thing, right? There will always be people who will say no, who will discourage you, who will not support you. Either they will be your friends, or they will be your parents, or they will be your spouse, or somebody will say something which is not as per what you want. Have you understood this? So this will always be the case, right? When I was working as a software engineer, my mother said that you need to take care of your baby. She was always like, first is baby, first baby needs us. So she had that mindset, and I was facing a lot of challenges for taking care of my first newborn. I was in a dilemma whether to stop working as a software engineer or not to stop, right? And that time I took a decision that, yeah, I will pause working as a software engineer and I will first take care of my child because that is my priority. And when I took that decision, there were a lot of people who said that it is a foolish decision and it is not something which is wise and all that, right? And I thought for a long time period, and I finally decided that, yeah, I will actually pause that working as a software engineer. And then I actually faced a lot of challenges also. I faced a lot of depressing moments. I faced a lot of moments where I was criticizing myself, I was doubting myself, and a lot of things happened, right? But if I would not have taken that decision, I would never have become a professional artist. I would never have got that kind of fulfillment which I'm having right now, right? So that was one of the decision because of which I did face challenges, but it ended up being one of the best decisions which I had taken in my life. So my point here is, if you are facing that kind of situation where people are opposing your ideas and you really want to do something, and you are feeling that it is not worth going against them, so understand that there will always be like that. Okay, the second point which is making you feel bad is why they are not supporting you. They are your well-wishers, they are your parents, or maybe spouse, or maybe siblings or friends. Why they are not supporting you? So your expectation from them is they should support you, right? And they are not supporting you. So the first feeling you may be feeling that, they should be saying that, they are not doing that, they are killing your expectations. That was not something that you are expecting from your near and dear ones. You were expecting support and they are not supporting you. So understand that there is no one way of anything. Okay, so they are opposing you because of a reason. They are opposing you because of their reasons, not your reasons. Okay, now I will give you some examples. So it is very important for you to understand that they are opposing you. That does not mean necessarily that they don't love you. Okay, that can be one of the rarest of rare reasons, that they actually don't love you and that's why they are opposing you. But most of the time that is not the case, right? So why they are opposing you even though they love you? Okay, the reason can be concern. The concern can be because of ignorance, the concern can be because of lack of knowledge, concern can be because of your past behaviors, right? For example, let's say I am a doormat type. Just let's say that I am a doormat type of a wife. Okay, I always do what my husband says. That is not what I do, but just imagine that that is what I do. I always blindly follow my husband. I always do what exactly my husband says. I don't have any opinion about my of my own. I don't take any decisions about taking doing anything, right? So that is the situation. I'm a complete doormat, right? So I just continuously follow what other people are saying. So that is a pure doormat, right? Now, don't get me wrong. That is no, I don't want to offend you if you are that kind of person. I just am telling you that, let's say one fine day, some of your friends or maybe somebody inspired you and you are feeling that, now is the time, I have to get out of my cocoon and I have to be myself, I have to take decisions, and you are feeling really inspired, you really want to get out of your shell, and there is nothing wrong about it. Actually, you should do that. You should get out of your shell. Okay, and you are feeling that now everyone should support you because you have listened to them all the time, every single year, every single day. You have been your best self for them and you have done every single thing possible to make them happy, and now it is their chance to help you. Okay, it's to support you. But that is exactly the opposite thing. Why? Because your family members are feeling that, oh, you are a doormat, you cannot take a small decision, how can you take big decisions? It will not work for you, right? That is their way of thinking. So understand this, it is so important, and it happens with many ladies, right? If they can constantly behave like doormat for a long period of time, and all of a sudden they open their eyes and see that, oh, their life is going away, they need to live their life, now they want to take some decisions and nobody is going to support, right? And they feel, oh my god, why they are not supporting. So this is the case. You have behaved in a certain way which has made them feel that you cannot take decisions of your own. Now they cannot support you because you are going against them, right? It is bound to happen. 100%. You can write it down. You will face this kind of difficulties, right? Now the third thing, if they are not supporting you and you want to achieve your goals, right? So the next is, what about the financial things, like what you are going to do in case nobody is supporting you? Who is going to help you with the money part, right? Who is going to give you the money part, right? So that is something which is really something to worry about, right? I will give you a lot of my examples, and my mother is no more, but then also I will give my mother's examples here. So I belonged from a lower middle class family where meeting both ends were highly difficult. My father actually never liked art. For him, spending money, time, efforts into art was of no use, right? And I'm not criticizing my father. There are hundreds and thousands of this kind of people out there, and it is their point of view that art is meaningless, right? For them, art is meaningless. Now, for my mother, art is not meaningless. My mother was like totally into art. She always loved to purchase art. She always wanted to learn art. Whenever we got some money, instead of spending in food or instead of spending in clothes, we always wanted to spend in purchasing artistic things or learning artistic things, right? So my mother was totally into it. Now, when my mother used to ask my father anything for her expenses, specifically if it is related to art, my father used to say, money doesn't hang on trees, money doesn't grow on trees, right? That was a standard statement. And not in this manner, in a more harsh manner. That was my father's answer. But that never discouraged my mother. What my mother used to do is she used to save small amount of money throughout the year. Okay, for example, by selling curry leaves. Okay, and she used to cut down big branches of curry leaves tree, and she used to make small parts of it, and then she used to sell that. Then she used to sell something called as raddi. She used to sell something called as old newspapers and old junk things which is no more required in our household. Okay, so she used to sell that, and she used to collect small amount of money so that we can learn art, we can spend money in art. I also remember one time when I was doing a small job, which was not like I was not getting a big amount of money that time, and I was not very money focused. So I used to spend those money, right? And I wanted to go for a middle to upper Himachal ranges tracking. Okay, and the situation was something like that my salary got over, and then I came to know that I have to purchase the tickets for going to that trekking. And I told my mother that I don't have money, but I want to go there. And my mother said that I will collect money for you. Okay, and I was very sure that my father will say no. In fact, we never even wanted to discuss this opportunity with my father, that going for a hiking or trekking, absolutely no, my father will simply say no, right? So I wanted to know exactly where the money is going to come from, but my mother said that I will collect it for you, you don't have to worry. And since I was too much motivated to go in that trekking, I never bothered where the money is going to come from. She asked my father's younger brother or somebody, and I don't know where she got the money from. And when she gave me the money at that time, I never knew where the money she got it from. Afterwards, after I returned from the trekking, she told me that she got the money from the neighbor. Okay, and I immediately refunded my neighbor, because I did not wanted to take from my neighbor, right? So the thing is, my mother was very resourceful, and she taught me how to be resourceful, how to do what you want to do in spite of other people not supporting you. Okay, so this I got from my mother. My that bug inside me, which just keeps on crawling, like I keep on doing something even if nobody supports. So that came from my mother. I always saw my mother doing what she wants to do and she likes to do, and she was very resourceful. So if your spouse is not supporting you, or if your parents is not supporting you with money, right, nowadays you can borrow money from, if you are in Canada and in US, you can take a loan from PayPal, or you can borrow money from your neighbors, you can borrow money from your friends, you can borrow money from some relatives. You have to be resourceful. You have to be resourceful. And then if you think that borrowing money is bad, borrowing money is this, you always borrow money, right? Like credit cards are meant for that only. And all the businesses are run on borrowed money. All the businesses, like there is no business in this world which is not running on borrowed money. Businesses are running on borrowed money. If you have the concept that borrowing money is bad, or you have to Google it out, what are the concepts, right? Because we all have been born and brought up with a particular type of mentality, and in our house borrowing money was considered as bad, and it was against the policy, even family policies and guidelines, and it was totally a no no. But when I grew up, I understood that when we need some money, we can borrow money, and then we can return it back with more interest and all that. So it is always the case. So never allow yourself to be stopped, right? So that is the point. The point is, if you are expecting finance from somebody and they are not giving you, it is your responsibility to be resourceful, right? So that is the third thing. The fourth thing is that which is a point of discussion, is should you listen to your friends, parents, relatives, or you should not listen to them, right? So many people, they say that I followed my father's decision. I could not take a decision because I had to follow my father's decision. So understand that there is no such concept in this world. It is finally your decision. It is 100% your decision to follow your spouse's decision or father's decision or anybody's decision. Following another person's decision is a decision. Taking a decision is a decision. Not taking a decision is a decision. Okay, I don't want to decide is a decision. I cannot do it right now because I am not able to take a decision is itself a decision, right? So you want it or you don't want it, every single day when you are opening your eyes from that point till you are sleeping on your bed, you are taking decisions, right? Knowingly or unknowingly, you are taking decisions, right? If you are doing exactly what you did 2 years back or 1 year back, okay, that itself is a decision. To do what you have done in the past itself is a decision, right? Following anybody is a decision. So I will give you a small example again in my life, right? So since childhood to adulthood, I was shy, timid, introverted, that kind of person, right? I always used to obey either my father, mother, right? I never had quite an opinion about myself, and I was never so confident about taking action. After I passed out from my college, okay, I started becoming a sort of a rebel because it was a suppressed kind of anger which I had inside me. The first thing, if somebody used to go say that Meeta, go left, I will go right, okay, that was a suppressed kind of feeling which was also not good. So I had that. My sister got married to a Bengali. I am a Bengali, by the way. So my sister got married to a Bengali person, okay, and the marriage didn't last because of some reasons, right? Then my turn came, and I was not in favor of marriage anyways, right? And whenever my mother and father used to find a person so that that person can come home and meet me, I used to feel that why should I do that? Am I a showpiece or something? Why that person will come home? So I will always like to skip that, right? So I was never ready to meet a person, right? Now one fine day, when I introduced my husband, like now my husband Nilesh, they were supposed to come to our house, right? And it was from my end. I wanted his family to meet my family, and my father was strictly against it. Father said, huh, you are going to marry a non-Bengali family? Huh? No, 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 it is totally not going to work out. So being a rebel, I simply said that, you know what, I have actually no problem you saying no to that boy. Totally, I'm going to agree with you, not a problem. But not meeting that person and saying, giving a decision, that's something I'm planning to oppose, right? That's something I cannot simply take it just because that person is not a Bengali family, belongs to a Bengali family, right? Now my logic here was, what happened to my sister? Just because she's marrying to a Bengali family doesn't guarantee that the marriage will last or it will be a happily married forever type of a story. It was not like that, right? So there is no logic behind it. So when there is no logic behind it, there is no point in following something where there is no logic, right? So I simply said that, there is no point in giving something which is absolutely illogical, right? Now, if you have a genuine point, if you have a logical point, in that case, I'm going to follow you, right? Have you understood? So exactly like that, you can also argue if you have a strong determination of doing something, and if somebody is opposing you, you can have a very logical statement there. I'm not saying that you have to follow me, but I'm just telling you that, finally, if you stupidly follow another person's decision just because they are your parents or spouse or friends or something like that, you will find your decision very logical later on in the future, and maybe you will try to blame others. Okay, now understand that no matter whether you blame somebody or not, it is not going to help you in any ways, right? So let's say I would have followed my father and I would have said no to that person. I would have missed living such a nice life with my world's best husband, right? My husband. So that is the thing. You never know what is going to be there in the future. So always take your own decisions, right? Following another person is your decision. So when you're making a decision, don't be just emotional. You also have to be logical, right? Okay, now let's come back to the question of whether art profession is a good profession. Let's say your parents, your spouse, or your friends, or anybody is opposing you that no, art profession is not a good profession. There are so many artists who are struggling to earn money and they are not earning money, and it is really difficult for them to earn money. Why you want to go for that difficulty? Why don't you just go for a job? And why don't you just go for some college degree and just do it? Why you have to go for that? Okay, so then you have to make a very logical decision here. So your heart is saying, no, 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 I love art. I want to be a world's best artist, or I want to be a famous artist. And okay, right? So that is your heart is saying. So let's talk about the absolute logical thing, right? So maybe that will help you. When you are a child, you have never seen, maybe, okay, I'm not saying that 100% it is true, that there are families where father, mother, all are artists, so the child is cultivating that idea of becoming an artist right from the childhood. So I'm not talking about that kind of family. I'm talking about most of the families where they have not seen a professional artist working in front of them, right, since the childhood. So understand that your idea about art as a profession is very different from the reality. Okay, you have to be very aware of that. The reality is, it is not a bed of roses, and it is exactly same way as it is not a bed of roses for engineers, it is not a bed of roses for doctors, it is not a bed of roses for architects, it is not a bed of roses for lawyers, it is not a bed of roses for any single profession. Bed of roses means happy, happy, happy all the time. It is not like that, right? It is having, every single profession has its own plus points and its own minus points, or you can say its own challenges and its own wins. Every single profession will be like that, right? Whatever profession you select, any profession, you give it your 100% and you do what your profession requires you to do, and you will thrive in that profession. Okay, it can be any profession. If it is any profession and you make a very good job from your end, then you will get the returns. Like, okay, so you will say, but Meeta, is it true for barbers? Yes, it is true for barbers. There are multi-millionaire barber like showrooms in various different countries, right? You have to do your best. That is the prerequisite. You cannot say that I will not do the best, and then you will keep on comparing with other people and it will not work for you, right? So there is always scope for all the professionals. Now, is it true for software engineers? Definitely. Is it true for lawyers? Definitely. Is it true for doctors? Definitely. Every single profession has got a scope of excelling, like you excelling in that profession. But you have to learn the rules and learn the work ethics and learn the skills that is required to do a good job in that profession. Okay. Now, there are a lot of artists who suffer. There are a lot of artists who are not able to make money, and it is a truth. Okay, I'm not saying that it is a lie, but that does not make art profession as bad. Okay, there is nothing wrong in that profession. Why they face a lot of challenges? That is because lack of knowledge. Art profession as is like an entrepreneurship. You are earning for yourself, right? You are not working for somebody in order to get the money. You are working for yourself. Okay, so it is like an entrepreneurship. And let's say you are working all by yourself, you don't have any helping hand, so you are called as a solo entrepreneur. There are a lot of solo entrepreneurs who have made a lot of money in any kind of entrepreneurship, right, including art. So it is not true that it will not work. Okay, if you have got the mindset that you will make it work, so it will work. If you have got the mindset that it will not work, so it will not work. Both sides, it is true. Okay, so my point here is every profession has got its wins and losses, its challenges and its plus points. So you select whatever profession and you will find it true. Okay, so for example, let's say a doctor's profession. Every single person in India, they will say that doctor's profession is a wonderful profession, but it is not. It has got its own wins, it has got its own problems, right? Like in COVID happened. So all the doctors were from morning till the evening, they were busy, they were fighting with COVID. Okay, so many challenges. It was so fulfilling. At the same time, it was so risky. So many doctors lost their lives. Okay, seeing patient die in front of your eyes is not a good feeling, isn't it? So they have their own challenges, own difficulties. So every single profession will have that. So no one single profession is good or bad. It is the case with all the professions. Have you understood this? Now let's talk about the artist profession. Artists, they suffer because of lack of knowledge. I have seen artists working in their profession with the ego, with a lot of ego. I don't understand why that ego comes from. Okay, I have seen tremendously skilled doctors. They don't work with ego, right? But artists, there are a lot of artists who work with a lot of ego. You like it, you don't like it, but it is a truth, right? So, and I'm not saying that it is with everyone. I'm not saying like that. I'm saying that a lot of artists. I'm not saying that every artist will do that, right? There are a lot of artists who doesn't have an ego, right? Doctors, they support each other. Lawyers, they support each other, right? When it comes to artists, they need to support each other, right? When we support each other, we grow up. So the thing is, artists, they suffer because they are having lack of knowledge. After going to one point, they think that that is all the knowledge that they need. They don't try to grow up, and they don't try to learn new skills. Okay, so for example, communication skills, interpersonal skills, internet related technological skills, how to sell in a mass environment, like to hundreds of people. Okay, all those things. There are a lot of thousands and thousands of things are there, new technologies. We all need to learn that in order to overcome the challenges. Artists who learn and overcome the challenges, they grow faster and they earn a lot. Artists who do not invest in learning and growing, they stay where they are and they suffer, right? Like a lot of people, they said, a lot of artists, they said that because of COVID, they could not earn, but it is not true. They could not earn because they were not aware of how to work in a location independent manner, sitting inside their home, right? And that's why they suffered. They suffered because of lack of knowledge. Finally, every single thing comes as a lack of knowledge, right? Now you will say that, but Meeta, we have already invested in learning art. Learning art is very different from learning entrepreneurship skills. Okay, it is totally different. If you learn art and if you continuously create art, like today only on Instagram, I met a lady and she said that she is planning to become a professional artist. And I said that how you are planning to grow your art profession. And she said that this year I'm continuously going to make a lot of paintings and then I will grow my profession. I said these are totally different things. What is happening is artists, since they are not aware of how to sell or how to promote or how to brand, and they are quite shying away, what they are doing is they are continuously creating art. In fact, for promoting themselves on social media, they are creating art in order to promote themselves on social media. That is not how it should be done, right? Artists more or less are mixing with other artists. On the other hand, they should actually mix with other people, right? Non-artist people, right? So they are not learning how to promote, they are promoting it the way they want or they feel that that is the best thing to do, right? So there are a lot of things which they are doing wrong because of lack of knowledge, and because of that they are facing a lot of challenges, right? So the art profession is not bad. It requires you to be knowledgeable, it requires you to be skilled, right? Once you focus too much into that, you will learn that and it will be helpful for you. Okay, I hope this is helping you, this video is helping you. My point in this video is, if anybody is trying to discourage you and you feel that you should not be discouraged, there are hundreds and thousands of ways not to feel discouraged. Okay, there are a lot of YouTube videos to keep yourself motivated. There are a lot of people out there who are helping you to stay motivated on Instagram, on YouTube. So just find out a way to stay motivated. In case you are saying, no, I don't want to go against my parents, I don't want to go against my spouse, or I don't want to go against my friends, I will listen to them. That is a choice, okay? That is a decision, and you can stick with that decision. In case you are making that decision, then you should feel happy from inside. In case you are taking a decision, whatever decision you take, whether you go opposite to them or with them, you stay happy. Okay, if you are following what your parents are saying and then you are half-heartedly saying yes to them, then it will not work. Your entire life will be ruined. Okay, so in case you want to follow them, but stay happy, right? In case you feel that, no, I want to do art but I cannot actually go against my parents, what I should do, so let's sacrifice and let's follow my parents. So after sacrificing, then you follow your parents and stay happy, right? Okay, now that is the best thing. In case you don't want to fight for your desires, you don't want to fight for your decisions, you want to go with the flow, go with the flow. No, nothing wrong in that, but stay happy, right? Don't do it half-heartedly. I will tell you one thing, like entrepreneurship, our profession is entrepreneurship, right? And entrepreneurship is not for everyone. It is not for everyone. It is for courageous people. It is for them who really want to do it. It is not for everyone. So if you don't want to face struggles, if you don't want to get discouraged, if you always want to stay motivated, happy, and all those things, it is not going to work out for you. Okay? Entrepreneurship is for go-getters. Entrepreneurship is for high achievers. Entrepreneurship is for people who really want to do it. Okay? If you sincerely want to do something, in that case, come for art profession. Otherwise, stay away from it. Okay, it is not for every single person. Every single person can do it, but it is not for every single person. Means what? It will have its own challenges. It is not like a job. If you really want to become an art professional, you cannot work as an art profession from a job mindset. What is a job mindset? The job mindset means you do the work, you don't do the work, but the end of the month you're going to get paid, right? That is a job mindset. you cannot work as an entrepreneur with a job mindset. There are a lot of artists who will do that. They will not do anything to promote themselves or market themselves. They will sit and wait and wait and wait for somebody to pay them, but it will not work. Why? Because they are trying to work as an entrepreneur with a job mindset that the money will come and fall on their lap. It will never work for them. Okay, so I will give you an example. I went to Myron's event in US few days back, and there was a lady who was a singer. Okay, and like she's also an artist, because singer are artists. She's having a 2-year-old baby, very small baby. Okay, 2-year-old, and she left her baby with her mother, and her husband is not there. And then she's attending Myron's event, and she told me that before she went for a business mentor, she actually purchased book, and she wrote 4 books, and for with each book she earned 1 million. So she made 4 millions before she actually went for a mentor. Why? Because she never knew that this kind of thing exists. Okay, she did not had internet in her house, so she used to shoot videos, and then she used to go to internet cafe, in order to promote herself. Okay, along with her small baby. So understand that people who really want to do, they just do it. They don't give excuses. Okay, so understand, she can also say, like, becoming a singer is so difficult. We have to invest a lot of money in getting trim and getting polished and talking in front of camera and learning all those skills. Can give 1,000 excuses, but she never gives that. Instead, she worked hard, and she actually made it happen, along with a small baby. No support from husband and all. Her husband was not there. Okay, so understand that people who really want to do, they just do it. They don't give excuses. Today I was talking with another artist, and I asked her, did you actually conducted the webinar, a workshop which you learned from me? And she said that, my something is happening in her house, and she never did that. Okay, so I told her that, you have to stop giving excuses. So many people, they say that, my husband is not in favor of me, or my husband is not supporting, or they're not supporting, or my friends are not supporting. These are just falling under the category of excuses. If you really want to do something, you will always find a way. If you don't want to do it, you will always find an excuse. Okay, take care, and bye bye, see you.